Good morning, everyone. I'm Damnesh on behalf of IIT Kanpur Outer Delhi chapter, and we are organizing this webinar on the cyber security, how in your daily life you protect yourself and you protect your money. Uh, with this webinar, this is in partnership with IIT Kanpur Alumni Welfare Trust, Lions Club Noida, and Hack IIT K 2020, which is a hackathon organized by C3I IIT Kanpur. We are organizing this webinar. Let me introduce Anurag Goyal, who is the president IIT Kanpur Outer Delhi chapter, as well as Lions Club Noida. Sir, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining this wonderful seminar on cyber security and data protection. You see, all of us have to be very, very careful these days about our money, our personal data, and our own life. Because as of now, because of the uh, pandemic, too much work is going on through the cyber media. We have with us a very distinguished speaker, Mr. Anuj Agarwal. Mr. Anuj Agarwal is chairman for the Center for Research on Cyber Crime and Cyber Security. He has trained more than 5,000 law enforcement officers, judicial officers, public persons, IAS officers, and so on. In addition, almost 100 universities, faculties, senior professors also he has trained. He has written a book on cyber crime, one of its kind in the country. So over to Mr. Anuj Agarwal. Anuj Agarwal will be speaking. Thereafter, we will have a question answer session at 12 noon. Anuj Agarwal.
Thank you, Anuragji. Thank you very much. It is a privilege to be speaking on this August forum. And good morning to all the participants, because any gathering can only be successful if there are participants. I could see there are huge number out here in the Zoom itself, and it is very much live on the YouTube, and there are a lot of people joining through that. I would be very happy to receive all your questions, queries, and we'll try to answer them. A little background about this entire thing as we move on. And I will be using quite a bit of Hindi if permitted, because that is how we connect better. But I also understand there are a lot of people from Northeast, even from Arunachal. I have the confirmation, and from the South. So they will not be preferring Hindi that much. And that's one of the reasons that the medium chosen is more of English. But yes, I will be bringing Hindi in between for sure, our own language. So as Goel Saab introduced the today's topic and agenda, we would be discussing that why at all we are talking about cyber security in this particular forum, where apart from corporate people, the business owners or the law enforcement people, the so-called common people are also attending in large number. So we must understand the context of the cyber security and the cyber crime, the scenario, why everybody is talking about this, and why this is the hottest topic today for all of us, for me, for you, whether we are a business owner, whether we are a professor, whether we are a homemaker, whomsoever we are. For us, it is very, very important and inevitable to understand the context. And once we understand the context, probably we will be more aware and we will be away from these criminals in a way. About myself, everybody always has little interest. So as told, I am Chairman Center for Research on Cybercrime and Cyber Law, advisor National Institute of Criminology for the Digital Syllabus Review. I am visiting faculty to many ministries and written a book, Cyber Crime First Responder Guide, which is a standard operating procedure for the law enforcement for the investigation of all kind of cyber crime, digital evidence, procurement, preservation, and presentation. Also, regular faculty to various Chamber of Commerce and the Institute of Eminence, CA, ICWA, CS. I would have trained almost all the police units in the country, economic offense wings, National Investigation Agency, Narcotics Control Bureau, judiciary and public prosecutors, high court judges, so on and so forth. This is the book I have written. The unique thing about this book is that the standard operating procedure which we have prescribed is as per the Indian conditions, where the power goes on as and when we need to talk to you. So today, if I am talking to you, then suddenly the power may go out. And this book is written in Hindi and English both. So this is the first book in the entire world which has English and Hindi both. Obviously, Google keep on ranking me first, second, third on cyber law and cyber crime speaker. Almost every TV channel, including Doordarshan and Rajya Sabha TV, I speak. All the print media, various police units, Defense Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar, Ajit Doval ji. So now let's quickly move. We not only train people, we conduct the cybercrime investigation for the corporate, economic offenses and the fraud investigation, GDPR and privacy compliance consultancy we keep on doing. All kind of investigation wherever the email, WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. or any such thing, boardroom data theft, digital evidence analysis. We have got a full-fledged digital forensic lab with us. Now we need to understand why cybercrime is happening and why it is taking place at 600% increase year on year. The reason is today the value is in the data. आज के समय में जो वैल्यू है वो किस चीज की है? वो इंफॉर्मेशन की है. जो वैल्यू किसमें स्टोर है? केवल बिल्डिंग्स में नहीं है, जमीन में नहीं है, तिजोरियों में जो पैसा भरा है उसमें नहीं है. आज डेटा है सबसे वैल्यूबल. अभी आपने 3-4 दिन पहले ये न्यूज पढ़ी होगी कि वॉलमार्ट कंपनी अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्लिपकार्ट इंडिया में बढ़ा रही है और उन्होंने उसको $24 बिलियन पे वैल्यू किया है. जब खरीदा था 2 साल पहले तो उन्होंने उसको करीब $16 बिलियन पे वैल्यू किया था. आपको जानकर शायद ताज्जुब होगा कि फ्लिपकार्ट के पास ना तो अपना कोई ओन्ड ऑफिस है, ना उनके पास कोई इन्वेंट्री है. वो सिर्फ एक प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसके ऊपर दूसरे लोग अपनी रिटेलिंग करते हैं. तो उनका है क्या? उनके पास कस्टमर्स का डेटा है, उनके पास कस्टमर्स की हैबिट्स हैं. अगर आज किसी को इंडिया में फोन लॉन्च करना है तो उसको अमेजन या फ्लिपकार्ट या स्नैपडील से टाई अप करना पड़ेगा, तभी उसके फोन बिकेंगे. और आप देखते हैं जैसे ही फोन लॉन्च होता है वो प्री बुकिंग करते हैं और 50,000 फोन, 1 लाख फोन 2 मिनट में बिक जाते हैं. और वैसे मार्केट में चारों तरफ मंदी छाई हुई है, कोरोना का टाइम चल रहा है, रिटेलर्स को अपने आप को सस्टेन करने में भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. और यहाँ अगर हम ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग की बात करें तो वहां वैल्यूएशन बढ़ती ही जा रही है. 2 साल में अगर $16 बिलियन से $24 बिलियन हो गया तो इससे अच्छा इन्वेस्टमेंट और क्या? तो जहां पर वैल्यू है, जहां पर डेटा है, वहीं क्रिमिनल्स जाएंगे. द क्रिमिनल्स विल फॉलो द वैल्यू. सो इफ यू आर स्टोरिंग गोल्ड एंड मनी इन बैंक और इन सम vaults और इन सम places, the criminals are after those places. Now if the value is in data and its data is stored in the company servers, the data is with you in your phone, you are using the Paytm, you are using your online banking. So that is where the value is and that is why the criminals are all after you through cyber means. जहां भी पैसा है, जहां भी वैल्यू है, क्रिमिनल्स वहीं जाते हैं क्योंकि उनको तो क्राइम करने का पर्पस ही पैसा कमाना है, पैसे को छीनना है. तो जो उनका जहां भी उनको पैसा मिलेगा वो वहां जाते हैं. अब मैं आपको बहुत ही ब्रीफली, हमें समय का भी ध्यान रखना है, ये बताऊंगा कि किस तरह से ये समस्याएं सामने आती हैं. अगर हम कॉर्पोरेट्स की बात करें, एडवांस परसिस्टेंट थ्रेट 229 दिन एवरेज है जो हैकर्स हैं जो डेटा को चुराते हैं वो एक दिन में 2 दिन में हिंदी मूवी की तरह या अंग्रेजी मूवी की तरह नहीं हैकिंग कर पाते हैं। उनको हैकिंग करने के लिए लगातार काफी दिनों तक प्रयास करना पड़ता है, रिकॉग्निशंस करते हैं, फिर वो कोई छोटी सी कमजोरी या गलती ढूंढते हैं और उसके बाद उनको जब मौका मिलता है तो वो हैकिंग कर पाते हैं, डेटा को चुरा पाते हैं। डेटा को चुराने में एक अजीब और एक अच्छी बात हैकर्स के लिए है कि वो एक्चुअली फिजिकली इसको नहीं चुराते हैं, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसकी एक कॉपी बना लेते हैं। आपका डेटा आपके पास है, आपको शायद पता भी नहीं चलता है, जब तक कि आपका कोई बड़ा नुकसान नहीं हो जाता है, आपको कोई बताता नहीं है। तो एपीटी, उसके बाद पेरीमीटर एंड इनसाइडर ब्रीच। अब जहां भी डेटा रखा होगा तो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि उन्होंने कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं करी होगी। अगर हम बैंक ब्रांच में जाते हैं तो वहां निश्चित रूप से गार्ड होता है जिसके पास एक गन होती है। अगर आप कभी आरबीआई के ब्रांचेस के आसपास से निकले हो तो आपने देखा होगा कि वहां पर काफी सिक्योरिटी होती है, काफी लोग गार्ड्स वगैरह होते हैं जो सुरक्षा करते हैं। एटीएम की वैन में भी हमेशा सुरक्षा होती है। तो क्या फ्लिपकार्ट या ऐसे लोग जिनके पास डेटा है या भारत सरकार जहां पे डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री है, तमाम डेटा है, तो क्या वो उसकी सिक्योरिटी नहीं करते होंगे? बिल्कुल करते हैं, पूरी तरह से करते हैं। लेकिन फिर उसमें ब्रीच कैसे हो जाता है, इसको समझना बड़ा आसान है। आपको ध्यान होगा रामायण में पंचवटी में जब मारीच नाम का एक राक्षस सोने का मृग बनकर आया और भगवान राम उसको पकड़ने के लिए पीछे पीछे दौड़े और भगवान राम ने जब उसको बाण मार दिया तो उसने भगवान राम की आवाज में सहायता के लिए पुकारा और माँ सीता ने लक्ष्मण जी से कहा कि आप जाइए उनकी सहायता कीजिए। लेकिन उन्होंने याद दिलाया कि भगवान का आदेश है कि मुझे आपकी सुरक्षा के लिए रुकना है, क्योंकि हमारी जो 3 लोगों की टीम थी वहां पंचवटी में, उसकी कमजोर कड़ी सीता जी ही थी। बाकी दोनों तो लड़ने में वीर और धीर गंभीर थे, पूरी तरह से शस्त्रों से लैस थे, चलाने में माहिर थे। लेकिन जब सीता जी ने भी आदेश कर दिया कि आपको जाना है तो लक्ष्मण जी ने जाते समय चारों ओर एक रेखा खींच दी और उन्होंने कहा कि आपको इस रेखा के बाहर नहीं आना है। ये जो फायरवॉल है इसके अंदर जो भी आएगा वो जल के भस्म हो जाएगा, आपकी सुरक्षा इस रेखा से होती रहेगी। इसी प्रकार से आज भी तमाम लोग फायरवॉल, जिसको हम पेरीमीटर सिक्योरिटी का हिस्सा मानते हैं, वो लगाते हैं। लेकिन उस प्रकरण में क्या हुआ? उस प्रकरण में यह हुआ कि सीता जी स्वयं उस फायरवॉल को ब्रीच करते हुए बाहर आ गई। वो फायरवॉल अंदर आने से रोक सकती थी, लेकिन अगर वो स्वयं बाहर निकल गई तो वो फायरवॉल कुछ काम नहीं कर सकती थी। इसी प्रकार से 66% इंसिडेंसेस में यह पाया गया है कि जो हमारे एम्प्लॉइज हैं, चाहे वो जानबूझ के चाहे वो गलती से, हमारी पेरीमीटर सिक्योरिटी को किसी ना किसी तरह से ब्रीच कर देते हैं, किसी को अंदर बुला लेते हैं या कोई रास्ता खोल देते हैं जिससे इंट्रूडर्स, हैकर्स अंदर आ जाते हैं। इनसाइडर ब्रीच हम लोग इसीलिए बार बार एंड पॉइंट सिक्योरिटी की बात करते हैं कि बाहर से तो हमने नेटवर्क में सिक्योरिटी लगा दी, कोई अंदर नहीं आएगा, लेकिन ऐसा हो सकता है कि हम अपने फोन को, जो कि पहले से ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड है, जिसमें एक मैलवेयर या वायरस है, उसको नेटवर्क में लगाएंगे तो जो हमारी पेरीमीटर सिक्योरिटी है वो तो बेकार हो गई। हम तो सीधे नेटवर्क के अंदर, जैसे कि आपने घर के बाहर तो बड़ा मजबूत ताला लगा दिया, लेकिन कोई व्यक्ति पहले से ही अगर आपके घर के अंदर आके बैठा हुआ है तो वो चोरी करने के बाद खिड़की के रास्ते से बाहर निकल जाएगा। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज हम सभी के सामने बना रहता है, जिस पर ध्यान देने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है। केवल टूल्स को लगाने से, फायरवॉल को लगाने से सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित नहीं होगी। जब तक हमारे सभी लोग ट्रेंड नहीं होंगे, अवेयर नहीं होंगे, पूरी तरह से डेडिकेटेड नहीं होंगे और अंदर जो समस्याएं हम लोग खुद खड़ी करते हैं, जैसे कि हमें एक ईमेल आती है जिसमें लिखा होता है कि $5 मिलियन हमें आपको ट्रांसफर करने हैं, हमारे पिताजी जो कि युद्ध में मारे गए हैं उन्होंने हमें छोड़ दिए थे। आप तुरंत उस ईमेल को क्लिक करते हैं, उससे एक वायरस आपके सिस्टम में आ जाता है। या भारत सरकार की तरफ से कोई आपको मेल आती हुई दिखती है, इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट जब आपको ये कहता है कि आपका रिफंड ड्यू हो गया है, अगर अगले 1 घंटे के अंदर आपने जो हमको जानकारी मांगी है वो नहीं दी तो ये वापस हो जाएगा। आप कभी ये भी नहीं सोचते, आप में से बहुत सारे लोग, कि हमारे पास कोई पैन कार्ड भी नहीं है, हम तो रिटर्न जमा भी नहीं करते, फिर रिफंड कैसे आ गया? लेकिन जैसे ही वो रिफंड की बात आती है, जल्दी से सारी जानकारी, अगर वो माँ बाप और दादा दादी और आपके खानदान मित्रों की भी पूछते हैं तो आप फटाफट दे देते हैं, बैंक के बारे में बता देते हैं, फिर एक ओटीपी आता है उसको भी बता देते हैं और उसके बाद फिर आपके अकाउंट से पैसे निकल जाते हैं। तो ये सब इनसाइडर ब्रीच है। तमाम जिम्मेदारी सरकार ने उठा रखी है, बैंकों ने उठा रखी है, बार बार जानकारी आपको देते हैं, हम लोग भी सेमिनार्स करते रहते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी ये समस्या हो जाती है। आपको ध्यान होगा कि अभी 2 दिन पहले ट्विटर का एक हैक हुआ और उसमें कई बड़े बड़े अकाउंट्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गए, जिसमें बिल गेट्स का और ऐसे कई बड़े बड़े नाम थे जिनका अकाउंट्स कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गया, हैक हो गया। पहले हमारे यहाँ एक बहुत बड़े राजनेता हैं जिन्हें हम पप्पू जी के नाम से जानते हैं, उन्होंने भी ऐसा बताया था कि उनका अकाउंट हैक हो गया। तो ये कैसे हो जाता है? इतने बड़े जो ट्विटर का एक पूरा प्लेटफॉर्म चल रहा है, तो आपको लगता नहीं है कि क्या उन्होंने कोई सिक्योरिटी का पुख्ता इंतजाम किया होगा? They have made all good arrangements for the security by deploying the latest tools. They also have the best of the best people to manage and ensure their security, but still there are breaches because they have allowed us the facility to change our password, because we also keep on telling them that we have lost our password and we are not able to enter. Now if our email, our own system is compromised, somebody else can look at our password using something what we call as RAT, a remote access tool. आप में से बहुत लोगों ने टीम व्यूअर या एनीडेस्क का यूज किया होगा, उसी तरह की एक चीज रैट होती है। जो इंट्रूडर हैं, जो साइबर क्रिमिनल हैं, वो आपके फोन में, आपके कंप्यूटर में डाल देते हैं और फिर उन्हें आपसे कुछ पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है, उनके पास आपकी सारी जानकारी पहुंच जाती है। कई महिलाओं ने मुझसे ऐसा कहा कि उनको कोई पीछा कर रहा है, उनके मोबाइल से उन पर नजर रख रहा है, तो मैंने उनको पहली सलाह ये दी कि पुरुषों ने भी, तो मेरी पहली सलाह यही थी कि आप किसी मानसिक विशेषज्ञ से सलाह लें। ऐसा कोई आपके साथ कैसे कर सकता है अगर आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है? लेकिन अगर किसी ने आपका फोन कंप्रोमाइज कर लिया, और आप लोग तो फोन बाथरूम में भी लेकर जाते हैं, तो जब आप अपना फोन हर समय साथ रखते हैं, तो ये निश्चित रूप से अगर फोन में कोई रिमोट एक्सेस टूल है, रैट है, तो वो आपकी हर जानकारी उस अपराधी तक या पीछा करने वाले तक पहुंचा सकता है। तो अगर आप ध्यान से देखें तो साइबर सिक्योरिटी की जिम्मेदारी सरकार, बैंक, पेटीएम की ही सिर्फ नहीं है, कंपनी के, कॉर्पोरेट या सीसो की नहीं है, मेरी, आपकी, हम सबकी, उनसे भी ज्यादा है। क्योंकि अगर हम उनके सारे सिक्योरिटी इंतजाम के बावजूद अपनी प्राइवेसी का हवाला देते हुए और उसका ध्यान ना रखते हुए किसी क्रिमिनल को अपने डिवाइस का, फोन का, अपने लैपटॉप का, कंप्यूटर का एक्सेस दे देंगे, तो ये सारी की सारी सिक्योरिटी धरी रह जाएगी और हम किसी ना किसी प्रकार के साइबर क्राइम के शिकार हो जाएंगे। ईमेल को बदल के, स्पूफ करके, ईमेल के सर्वर को कंप्रोमाइज करना, डेटा का थेफ्ट करना, ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्रोमाइज करना, डार्क वेब के थ्रू मादक पदार्थों का, नार्कोटिक्स का व्यापार करना। And I must tell you that the darknet is supposedly many times bigger than the internet what we see, and darknet allows trading in all kind of narcotics substances by using Bitcoin, which gives a lot of anonymity. It even allows pornographic material exchange freely. It also allows trading in arms and ammunition. So this is another big risk we all have. Ransomware problem is extremely dire these days. Even on single PCs, many people have suffered ransomware very recently. Now, a ransomware attacker is basically not stealing your data, neither copying. That person, that attacker, that hacker, that criminal is encrypting all your data by sending a malware. So you are not able to access your data. It is either in a PC, personal data. For a chartered accountant, it is all client's data. For a hospital, it is all hospitals, patients' data, accounting data. For any other organization, government departments, it may be all defense data. For corporate, it is all about production, inventory, sales, accounts, anything, finance, everything. So ransomware is becoming a major threat worldwide, and I would have seen many recent attacks in India on individuals as well as large corporates. Despite all your security, the ransomware is coming. It is very prevalent, and one reason that the ransomware is so prevalent is that, again, as I've told you, That if somebody sends you a WhatsApp saying you get a Ray-Ban goggles for 500 rupees, or you get a 5,000 rupees offer to buy a 50-inch Samsung TV, which is typically 40,000 market price, and you click it, and you not only click it, you also try to give all your information so that your offer is not gone to somebody else. The moment you click that mobile phone message, you get a rat or a ransomware malware, and which slowly takes over all your data. It encrypts. Another major challenge which we are seeing is harassment of women and children. I have a full video, if you are interested, about cyber bullying, especially to the children and all other vulnerable sections of the society. Many suicides have taken place. It has become extremely prevalent in the schools about the cyber bullying, because a lot of children, almost all the children, are there on the social media, and some bullies, they harass them on the social media by various means. So you all, as individual, as parents, need to be very careful. Please have a look, listen to that panel discussion on the Rajya Sabha TV. You can search it through our Cybertech TV channel, as well as putting it in the Google search, Rajya Sabha TV bullying. Now this women harassment, the employee harassment, is also that a lot of people are sending anonymous emails to women and children and other vulnerable sections of the society, harassing them through sexual or other methods. But I must tell you that most of these people are one or the other method, they are arrested. So it is always desirable for anyone to avoid these kind of methods. People think that they will not be caught and they have got some sort of anonymity or privacy. But yes, it is a trend which is quite prevalent. Now we are going to talk about the wireless and other password breaches. I just give you an instance. So I went to my friend who runs a car garage for some small maintenance of the car. As he was not there and my car was being repaired, I needed the broadband to access some important information. I requested the manager there to give me the password of the Wi-Fi, and he very smartly and very rightly said, "Sorry, sir, I do not have it, only the boss has it." Anyway, I could easily get the password and started using. When he came, I said, "Thank you very much. I could use your Wi-Fi. It was urgent." But he says, who gave you the password? I said, no, nobody gave it, but I got it. He says, how? I said, don't ask me because this is a trade secret for me. Now, you would also be thinking that since somebody, and I'm being claimed as an expert, so I would probably do it. I must tell you, you can also do it. Very easy. Just I'm going to tell you 4 or 5 simple methods, and next time you can also go to some of your friends' place. You can get the password. So number one, try this guy's phone numbers, his number, his wife's number. Okay, if that doesn't work, try his car number. Okay, if that doesn't work, try his flat number. Then try his date of birth with his name. And I'm sure out of these 4 combinations, you will get it 99%. In US defense establishments, once some survey was done and 67% passwords were found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if that is the situation in the more aware establishments, then why blame the individuals? But please understand, when you have a broadband at your home, the wireless is available beyond your flat or your koti or your office. So anybody who is standing at the gate is getting access to your Wi-Fi. Okay. Now, if that person can guess your password or enter into your Wi-Fi, he can do some mischief, some cyber crime. And when the police will investigate, it will come to your house because IP would be yours, because he has used your connection. So please be very careful. keep a little difficult password, and if possible, keep on changing it after some time. Otherwise, if your Wi-Fi is used for some kind of a criminal activity outside your office or your home, or if you are started your mobile antenna and somebody use that mobile antenna while you are moving around, you will be caught. Please be careful. All of us has this habit of saving our passwords in our browser. So wherever we go, enter username and passwords in bank or wherever, we save the password because we do not want to enter it again because we are all very busy people. काम दिन भर करने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है टीवी देखने के सिवा, बट हम हैं बिजी, तो हमारे पास जितना भी समय नहीं होता है कि हम अपने यूजर नेम और पासवर्ड को दोबारा एंटर भी कर लें, तो उसको हम ब्राउजर में सेव कर लेते हैं। ये जो स्क्रीन दिख रही है इसमें ब्राउजर में तमाम पासवर्ड पड़े होते हैं, इसको इजीली एक मामूली टूल के द्वारा देखा जा सकता है और फिर क्रिमिनल उन पासवर्ड्स को यूज करके आपके अकाउंट वगैरह में इजीली एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। तो जब आप अपने डेबिट कार्ड या क्रेडिट कार्ड से पेमेंट करते हैं ऑनलाइन, तो कार्ड को सेव ना करें कभी भी। उसमें जब नीचे ऑप्शन होता है ध्यान से देखें, एक लिखा होता है कि वुड यू लाइक टू सेव द कार्ड डिटेल्स फॉर फास्टर चेकआउट नेक्स्ट टाइम। तो ये जो फास्टर चेकआउट है, अगर आप उसको सेव करते हैं, क्रिमिनल इस इंफॉर्मेशन को चुराते हैं, तो ये फास्टर चेकआउट आप तो पता नहीं कितना कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे, बट वो आपसे जरूर फास्टर चेकआउट का फायदा उठा के आपका पूरा अकाउंट खाली इजीली कर देंगे। तो इसको आप बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान रखिए, इसमें कोई गलती मत करिए। अब हम बहुत ही जल्दी 2-3 छोटी चीजों को समझते हुए इस सत्र को आगे बढ़ाएंगे और समय पर समाप्त करने का प्रयास करेंगे। According to a research done, that one set of data, say for mine or yours, is worth 10,000 rupees or more, $154। तो आप अपना जो डेटा फ्रीली तमाम वेबसाइट्स पर 1 रुपए के पेन के लिए या 50 रुपए के वाउचर के लिए देते रहते हैं, उसकी एक्चुअल कीमत $154 है। अपनी कीमत समझिए और अपने डेटा को अननेसेसरी इधर उधर यूज मत करिए। You need to be careful to not waste your information. You need to be discretionary about giving your information to any or the other website for 50 rupees. So the website which is giving you a 50 rupees discount coupon for entering your information is actually making $154, which is roughly 13,000 rupees at today's 75 rupees to a dollar, etc. So they are actually not giving you a favor. They are actually giving you 100 rupees coupon for something which is worth 12,000 rupees. Okay. So next time be careful. Retail industry, the cost is actually $165 plus, which is roughly 15,000 रुपए हो जाती है। आपकी कीमत 15,000 रुपए है। अब हम लोग एक तरह के और अटैक्स के बारे में क्विकली समझेंगे, उसको हम लोग वाटरिंग होल अटैक्स कहते हैं। वाटरिंग होल का मतलब ये होता है ऐसी जगह जहां पर पानी भरा होता है, द प्लेस वेयर द वाटर इज स्टोर्ड, सम काइंड ऑफ ए pond or a lake. Now if there is a lake or a pond in a jungle, in a forest, and a lion or a tiger wants to feed on certain smaller animals, the best place is to sit around that place, because all animals, small and big, will be coming to that particular place to fetch water, to drink water. Now you have the advantage of numbers. So if there are 50 or 100 possible preys and you make an attack, 1 or 2 attack will definitely be successful, and you need not go around the jungle to search for your prey. The second reason is that the human brain is designed for single tasking by the God. Now this is the one place where we are lacking from the computers. Otherwise, a human brain is such an engineering place. It can, think much quicker than a best computers, but it is designed for single tasking. So if I am making a lecture to you, I cannot drink water simultaneously. My attention will be diverted. So that's one reason, if you would have seen on Discovery Channel, that when the animals are drinking water from the watering hole, they never do it in one go. They will drink, then stop, look around, then, because they cannot do both the things simultaneously. So watering hole attacks also happens on the internet. Now, where are the watering holes on the internet? Our social media sites are the watering holes on the internet. For example, the Facebook. Now, Facebook is probably having 1.6, 1.8 or 2 billion people as the users. So you have the advantage for the criminals. The advantage is numbers. Each and every Facebook account can have up to 5,000 people. So if you have a group, or if you are very friendly to people, you will let everybody become your friend, including some criminals, and they can be keeping very handsome names, very handsome faces, because even a dog can be a account holder on the Facebook. No one knows. Just need to put a pretty face, put a good name, claim yourself to be a wealthy person from USA, a businessman, whatever, and you become a great guy on the Facebook. You can attract a lot of people, the gullible people, the vulnerable people, the women, the children, and you can keep on talking about whatever. You may be the worst of the person in the world. You may be having absolutely nothing in your pocket, but you can talk about zillions and billions. Nobody can really challenge or know what you are talking, what you are not. Similarly, this water hole has that another disadvantage, that whatever is being talked about on the Facebook, people start believing it. They become vulnerable. So if two people are attracted to each other, and one person says to the other woman that I'm going to send you a 1 crore gift, and that gift arrives and the courier calls up and says that the gift is stuck in the custom, and the 5 lakh has to be paid, the person who is receiving the gift is thinking that even if my friend does not pay 5 lakh later on when he meets me coming back to India, I'm still getting 95 lakh. That person pays online to the so-called customs 5 lakh rupees, and both the friend, the custom, the courier, everybody goes. So please understand that these kind of things which are happening on the social media, we have lot of criminals in various methods. Somebody was looking for a temporary accommodation in US because he was going there for a short-term course, and the person sent him a lot of photos of the apartments, and then sent him a proper rent agreement attested by the attorney, etc., etc. This guy paid 2 months advance rent, roughly 2 lakh rupees in American dollars, and lo behold, that person is gone. When this person reached in US to that same address, the lady out there said that, look, there is no such rent agreement I have ever signed. In fact, there is no place in my home. I do not keep tenants. So these kind of things which are happening on the social media, you need to be mindful of that, and do not believe people on the social media, including your own friends. The reason being that a lot of accounts have been taken over, or a lot of fake accounts have come up on the social media in the name of your friends and relatives. So you never know whether when you are interacting with a good friend of yourself, or your boss, or your ex-teacher, the account is a fake account or a real account. So please do not do transactions using social media. Talk to the person, give him a call. Be rest assured that person is actually the person whom you are talking to, you are trying to help or exchange money, etc., etc. There is a latest trend, what we call as revenge porn. So these days, a lot of young people, when they are in intimate relationship, they have this habit of exchanging nude photographs and videos. Now, after some time, if the relationship soars, one of these person will put those confidentially shared media, videos, photos, etc. on the social media. So that is being called revenge porn. And you will be surprised to know that this is not a trend which is common or restricted to cities. It is happening quite a bit in remote corners of the villages in Uttarakhand and Arunachal. So please be aware for yourself not to share any kind of a pornography material, whether of yourself or of somebody else. It is a serious social problem, as well as the law is very strict. Any kind of a children pornography shared on the internet, mobile phone, or even stored in your phone, watched even once, just downloaded on the email or WhatsApp, 5 years is the minimum jail term. 5 साल के लिए अंदर जाना है अगर आपने चाइल्ड पोर्नोग्राफी अपने फोन में, कंप्यूटर पे, ईमेल पे सिर्फ सेव कर ली, भेजी किसी और ने, अगर आपने आंख बंद करके भी देखा, नहीं भी देखा, तो भी 5 साल के लिए जेल में जाना है। इससे बचना है, बिल्कुल इससे बचना है, इसके चक्कर में बिल्कुल भी नहीं पड़ना है। आपको मैं 2 मिनट में कानून का थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे दूं कि अगर आपको ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, कभी आपके साथ कोई साइबर क्राइम हो जाता है, आपके अकाउंट से पैसे निकल जाते हैं, किसी ने आपका नकली कार्ड बना लिया है, तो आप क्या करें? उसकी 2 तरकीबें हैं। आप अपने नियरेस्ट पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके उसकी कंप्लेंट करा सकते हैं, या फिर आप ऑनलाइन भी उसकी कंप्लेंट कर सकते हैं। ऑनलाइन कंप्लेंट करने के लिए आपको एक वेबसाइट है cybercrime.gov.in। कौन सी वेबसाइट है? cybercrime.gov.in। आप उस वेबसाइट पर भी जा सकते हैं। तो cybercrime.gov.in पर भी जाकर आप जो है अपना कंप्लेंट दर्ज करा सकते हैं। उसके लिए आपको कहीं जाना नहीं पड़ेगा, और फिर उसकी जो भी इंक्वायरी है वो करी जा सकती है। किसी भी प्रकार का आपका कोई साइबर क्राइम हो जाता है, चाहे आपके पैसे निकल जाते हैं, चाहे किसी ने आपका फेक अकाउंट बना रखा है, कोई रिवेंज पॉर्न का मामला है, कोई साइबर बुलिंग कर रहा है, ऐसी कोई भी चीज होती है, तो उसके लिए आप निश्चित रूप से अपने नियरेस्ट पुलिस स्टेशन में जाके उसका कंप्लेंट कर सकते हैं, या फिर एक अभी और ट्रेंड है जो हम लोग उसको बोलते हैं WFH या वर्क फ्रॉम होम, बिकॉज ऑफ द कोरोना एंड ऑल दैट। almost all the employees are working from home. The companies are also allowing people to work from home, and that's a new challenge for the corporate, especially that a lot of people who are using their personal PCs or laptops for connecting to the office network, and not less than 80-85% personal computers, PCs, laptops are infected with malware. People are downloading torrents and all that. So in such scenario, the employee or the user has to be extremely careful not to use such torrent, etc. downloads or malware from their computer, because if that attacks goes to the company network, the company will suffer repairable loss, as well as company may take legal action against that employee easily under the IT Act, where the punishment is severe for 3 years imprisonment is there. So many such emails which are purportedly coming from your own bank are coming. Please look at this email. This email purportedly coming from ICICI Bank, but actually it has come from a different kind of a email. So in case you are receiving any message about your account having a problem or etc., do not reply to such emails. Do not click on these emails. What you need to do is go to the website of your bank, pick up their number, call to them, or pick the email ID which is provided on there, and then only interact with your bank. Please remember, all the customer care numbers which are now available in the Google search have been totally defrauded. They are spoof numbers, they are duplicate numbers, they are numbers belonging to criminals. So if you are searching for a customer care number of any bank, courier, or some kind of a customer service number of a company, you may get a criminal's number who can take your information.
हमारा हो गया.
Hi, Anuj sir. We cannot hear you. Everyone just wait for a minute. Anuj is rejoining. Just give us a minute. In the meantime, you put your questions on the Q&A, and I understand there are audience from who has questions on hackathon. So I'll just take 2 minutes. In the meantime, while Anuj joins, I'll update you on the hackathon. So let me just share my screen. So the Hack IITK 2020, SCL Hack IITK 2020 is an cybersecurity hackathon which is organized by C3I, IIT Kanpur, which is #1 cybersecurity research center in India. And this hackathon has very attractive prizes, overall total prizes of 22 lakhs. You can go to hackathon.iitk.ac.in to know more about the hackathon. It's a team event, and it has a lot of it has cash prize. It has a lot of other opportunity for you if you're planning to build your career in cybersecurity. Currently the hackathon is in the registration mode, so you can register by 24th July. That is the registration deadline. And then there is a qualifying. There are 3 more rounds which you can participate. There is a qualifying round which is on 25th and 26th. There is a challenge round 1, 29 to 31st. And then a challenge round 2, 2nd August to 5th August. And then there would be result would be announced by 15th August. The hackathon has a very eminent jury in it, which includes Dr. Saurabh Srivastava and Professor Manindra Agarwal. Both are Padam Shri, and then there are industry experts in this jury panel. The professors Sandeep Shukla sir, Vinayak Godse, who is the vice president of DSCI, which is Data Security Council of India, and Ranju works with the SCL Technologies, Ashish Priya works with IBM, and Durga Prasad works with the Amazon Internet Services. So and then we have this hackathon has been supported by the SCL is the title sponsor, and the partners are DSCI with the National Center of Excellence is the partner in it. We have a learning partner, which is Talent Sprint, and we have gold sponsor AWS and IBM. IIT Kanpur is the hosting institute, and it has been organized by alumni IIT Kanpur Delhi chapter. You can see all the rules. You can see all the rules and everything. The next one. On the website, there are registration steps. You can know about all the qualifying rounds. It is expected that you know about the programming when you participate in it. There are detailed rule which we have mentioned over here. You should read it, and there are terms and conditions. In case you have any questions or any queries, you can write it to us at hackathoniitk@gmail.com, and our team will take care of all your questions and answers. Now, just visit this website and you would find all the details about the hackathon, the prizes, the timeline, the jury, the sponsor. Now, there was some questions related to hackathon that your application state is showing pending. So that's nothing to worry. What you have to do is click on the register here. It would and you need to fill the registration form. In the next step, you would be asked to invite your team because it is a team event. Once you invite your team, you can invite your friend and things, and you can invite your friends. Then it would, your application status would be pending approval, and then pending approval. The pending approval, it would be a system setting which would be changed as we move into the next round. So just see this about the cybersecurity hackathon. Participate in it. If you have questions, write it to us. And now we have Anuj back. So I'll just transfer it to Anuj. Anuj sir, over to you again. We understand you got disconnected. You can take the control. You can share, and you can start.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I was just showing you this particular slide, which has bank's email. So just look at the sender's email ID. It is obviously not bank. At times, the email ID of the sender may be correct as per your record. So, but still it may be a spoof email. So any email purportedly coming from a bank or a financial institution asking for a link to be clicked or reply back with certain critical personal information, please be aware, be sure, never ever reply either on email or on phone. If you need to interact with your bank, do it. Just pick their phone number from their website or from their letter they might have sent you earlier, and only do it at that. Even lot of search when you make on Google for customer care numbers of banks, financial institutions, insurance companies, courier, or customer care of white goods, your fridge or TV, most of these numbers are now fake and have been put up by criminals, including those toll-free numbers 1800, etc. So those numbers can be fake. You please go to the website of that company or their brochure, some kind of a document they might have given you, and use those numbers only. A lot of fraud has taken place from the numbers picked up as customer care or customer support numbers from the Google search. So this is the latest very unfortunate trend is happening, because Google is one good way to search for these things whenever you and I need. But unfortunately, many such instances have happened where somebody picks up a courier number and they will call on that number and they say, yes, your packet is very much here. But because today we do not have delivery boys, we are short in numbers. So if you pay extra 1,000 rupees on this Paytm, we will ask a boy to do it out of turn. And you end up paying that money and still not getting your packet. So, I mean, there are very many ways by which cyber criminals are working. I'm just taking another 2 minutes before I finish. The traditional methods about your card skimming, when you go into an ATM and if that ATM is compromised, your card data may be skimmed, and the criminals also put a pinhole camera, and as you enter the number, your PIN number, they get your PIN number also. By skimming the data and duplicating your card, they can withdraw money from other ATMs from your account. The other method is obviously these cards are also used as petrol pumps and some retail stores restaurants. So if you are ever going to any of these places, please see that the card is swiped in front of you and that number, the pin is not, you never share your pin with any of those people out there. Do it yourself and keep one hand over the other so that your pin is not seen by somebody or not captured in the camera. You are safe that way. Similarly, when you are doing web transactions, please be careful. Please be careful that your PIN is not compromised, not used by somebody else. It is always used by you personally. It is not misused. So I think I have taken the time allotted and have spoken and discussed about things. There are a lot of things I think we can keep on going on and on, but then time limit is always to be honored. The organizers started time, well in time, so it is my responsibility, and I feel it is proper to finish in time. The over to organizers for question answer or other thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu sir. It was really useful. I think a lot of understanding for us, like in common people, what we should do, what we should not. We have few questions. Audience, you can raise your hand, and we will allow you to ask question. But sir, there are few questions on the chat which I'm just reading so that you could. So there's somebody asked that this seems to be really important thing as we all are exposed to multiple devices and thing. Why government doesn't teach it at a school level and make people aware of from the start that what are the risks and how they should how a common student should take care it from the start. So are
I
there some
appreciate
activities
your
government
concern
doing?
and question.
Yeah.
But I think it is important for the citizens like me and you to raise it to the school concern because the government is a little too big an entity and they have a lot of good and not so good things to do. But I think if all the parents ask the schools to get such awareness sessions organized, I think that would be one good way. And RWAs is another factor that they can organize such sessions, or we can record some videos which can be played in the RWA meetings apart from the Faltu politics which is played in his RWA meetings. If they can do some useful discussion on this, I think that is a better way of.
Right. Yeah, and there is a question from Dr. Sanjeev Padjoshi, who is an IPS. With more digital financial system, more chances of digital financial fraud and cheating in probability theory. Should system not be better with mixed combination of digital and check and in-person transaction rather than completely making it digital? Even he said even biometrics getting compromised, so digital gives a edge on the speed, but shouldn't it be a process which should be a mixed process of offline and online?
See, if we look at the overall compromise percentage or data or the loss vis-a-vis physical in digital is still much lesser. It is not that in the physical we are not losing money or there are not frauds or there are not crimes happening. But in digital, even if the crimes are happening, it is much easier if the law enforcement agencies are equipped, alert and trained to catch the criminals. And as I've told you, it is not because of the system compromise that the crimes are happening. It is because the etiquettes, what we call as digital etiquettes of the people, when they are not following those digital etiquettes, those basic security requirements, that these crimes are taking place. So if you are claiming a refund from the income tax department while you are not even having a PAN card, or you are trying to get a Samsung 50-inch TV for 5,000 rupees by clicking then obviously it is not at all a system compromise. It is obviously a personal compromise.
Okay, okay, sir. Let me allow Vishwanath Mathur, who has raised hand. You can unmute and you can ask your question. Vishwanath Mathur,
Hello, sir.
you can ask your question.
Hello, sir. Hello. Can I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir. Actually, I am asking for about botnets and dropper scripts, sir, which is run maliciously behind the screen, sir. How to prevent from it, sir? Botnets and dropper scripts.
See, you asked a little technical question which needs a technical reply. But the cyber hygiene which we have been talking about, that if you are clicking on the malicious links, which may look very innocuous, you are inviting these kind of scripts in your system. If you are holding your temptation to not get lot of free stuff or discounted, heavily discounted enough stuff, you will not get these kind of scripts in your computer. Now, once they are there, obviously the only weapon you have is your antivirus for a PC. That's the way. Otherwise, there is no way that you can see it and prevent it. So it is always desirable and better to not let these scripts come to your computer, and 99% they come through those links which we keep on clicking sitting on our computer, which are coming through emails, WhatsApp, and all such. And a lot of people are watching XXX using their computers. All these so-called free XXX sites or the Tor which you use, they bring these scripts.
Hello, sir. Praveen Kumar, sir, you can ask your question. You are on. You can ask your question, Praveen Kumar ji.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I have a website and it has been hacked. And for last 6 months, I'm getting repeatedly email on my email ID, on my official email ID. What to do?
Are you getting requests for some
Bitcoins,
ransomware?
yes.
Okay.
Bitcoins.
So, Bitcoins. But you have the domain with you, right? So if you have
Yes.
a domain, if you have a domain with you, you can move that website hosting somewhere else. You need to have a control on the domain, right, Anuj sir? Please, you can answer.
I think your problem you need to discuss in detail separately. You have my number.
Yeah. Okay.
Prima facie, it looks that the service provider where you have hosted your website must be some chotu guy and his own server would be infected. Okay. Now, if you have your own server, some kind of a VPS or something, then that VPS is infected. So first of all, you need to clean your house. And then if somebody is generally sending you an email and asking for ransom and none of your things are getting affected, so just simply ignore him. But if your things are totally in his control, then we need to work on a strategy separately to get control back. If you already have control, simply ignore, move on, host it somewhere else.
My things are under my control. There is no problem. But every day I'm flooded with more than 100 mails every day for the last 6 months.
Sir, you are lucky that a lot of people, you are a famous person. That means that so many people are actually sending you emails. I am तो looking forward for emails. Nobody is asking me. कोई मुझे मेल नहीं करता, फोन नहीं करता, मैं दिन भर अकेला रहता हूँ. ये तो बड़ी खुशी की बात है सर. आप तो बड़े फेमस आदमी हैं, बहुत अमीर आदमी भी होंगे. ये तो सबूत है इस बात का कि आप अच्छे अमीर आदमी हैं.
हम तो इनके चेले हैं.
Okay, sir. Okay, we take the next question, which is from Divya Saxena. Divya, you can ask your question.
Hello, sir. I'm audible.
Yes, speak loudly.
Sir, I am currently studying in class 11. I know some basics in programming and I want to build my future in cybersecurity. So, sir, what should be my approach towards it, and what sources should I take to learn it more?
Anuj sir.
I think you need to participate in the hackathon, which Damnesh ji just, I think, mentioned.
Yes, sir. I'm
You see, it is
participating in it.
not about cyber courses. I think you need to work a little hard on the fundamentals. For example, the OS fundamentals. You must learn Kali Linux. It has a lot of cyber security tools. So if you can master those tools, maybe through self-learning, and a lot of resources are available for free online these days, I'm sure you must be aware. So it is basically a factor of your hard work, that how much hard work you really put. Sincere hard work is the key. It is not the courses. I know, and I've seen a lot of people with 10, 15, 20 certifications and being good for nothing. So I think it is the hard work. You please put your heart out. You please put 14 hours in a day, or maybe if you can do more like Modi ji, you will be successful.
Okay, okay, sir. There is a Anu sir, there is a question that if you need to give tips to senior citizen, 2 tips that what they should, how do they should protect themselves? Because I see there is a lot of, if you read in the news, most of they are the one of the most impacted people related to cyber frauds in terms of monetary thing. So, what are the tips for the senior citizen people?
Sir, in my opinion, my suggestions to them would be: number one, never ever share any kind of a OTP or code on the phone. Whatever might be the provocation to somebody calling and saying, look, your account is going to get stopped or closed, there is a security issue, please give it to me. Or if there is an offer, or if there is some kind of a news being given about some kind of a accident or some of their children being in need, etc. Because these fake people use all kind of threats and allurement. So that's one way. Another, as I've told you, if they go to ATM, please use those ATMs only where there is a security guard. And when they are entering the PIN, please use your one hand on the other to avoid camera picking your ATM code. Third, obviously, when you are going to a merchant location for a restaurant or someplace, do not share your PIN with the operator. Do it yourself. So I think these 3, and whenever you are on the internet doing some web transaction, please do not click on links. Keep your computer clean, right? Keep your
Okay, sir.
phone clean. Do not save your passwords.
Right. Okay, we have the another caller, Achyut Avasthi. Achyut, you can ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good morning. If you could explain a bit more on DDoS attacks.
What attacks?
DDoS
DDoS attacks.
आपके ऊपर आ गया क्या?
No, sir. Not yet.
आप क्या करते हैं?
Sir, I work as a digital marketing professional. I am a freelancer.
हाँ तो मैं समझ रहा हूँ आप DDoS प्लान कर रहे होंगे ना किसी के
नहीं sir. Actually, sir, I want to know.
वजह है, if you generate a DDoS attack in the name of digital marketing, okay, so it is 3 years imprisonment and a 5 lakh rupees fine.
Sir, I am not planning to generate. Sir, I am planning to how I can be safe from it.
No. So you need not be worried. It is the responsibility of the organizations whose network may be DDoSed. Okay, an individual will not be DDoSed for sure. DDoS attack is mounted on networks where lots of people are connected. For example, IRCTC or ICICI Bank or something defense. It is not mounted on you and me as an individual. It does not happen that way. So it is not in my or your power or authority, or neither we have tools to prevent it. It is only attacked, only the DDoS attack happens only on the larger networks, and they only can have preventive or tools to take care of that. Don't worry.
Right. Anuj sir, what is, how do you, so for a lot of transaction which happen through the international side of it, if there are fraud transactions happening, is there a way people can block their card for, if they don't go out, they're not going anywhere international, they can block their card in the way so that it doesn't work there? Is there a bank
Very,
allows
very
that?
important question, Damish ji, you have asked. Very important. If we are not going abroad, in any case, now nobody can go because total blockade is there. Please call up your bank or send an email to your bank and tell them that we are requesting the bank to stop the international transactions on our bank. It is just a 1 minute call to your bank or an email you can send, or a letter if you want, if you are very traditional. They will block all international transactions. And that will save you from any kind of an international criminal utilizing or misutilizing your card. Because if an international fraud happens, it is almost impossible to get a relief, because you cannot expect the police guys for 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees to go to Yugoslavia or Jordan or Nigeria to do an investigation. Just call your bank, they will stop it.
Okay.
And again, if you need it anytime, again call them, they will start it. So it is not a permanent closure of your service. It's a temporary closure which everybody should do.
Right. Another question, sir. How useful are these antivirus and anti-malware for home computers? We must have it, or do they protect us rightly?
So they are definitely useful. You must have a licensed and a good quality one. Okay. Now
Not the free one.
that free one will not work for you. That will work for somebody who is giving you for free. Okay. So that free
Okay.
things work for those who are giving it for free.
Understood.
It's important to have it.
Right. And how strong are our, so like you said that if something happened, approach police, and are police aware about such fraud? Because, I mean, these hackers and the guys who actually hack into your accounts and things, they're much more advanced than the system. So the police actually understand your problem, and they are able to help?
Well, this is a Tom and Jerry situation. I will say, I will not say cat and mouse. So they are being trained. We keep on training them, and they keep on getting trainings and understanding. Now, some of them may be very well aware. Some of them may not be that much aware. But if something goes wrong with me or you or anybody, the first port of call is the police. You have no other option. If your bank account is compromised, you need to go to your bank also. But they would also expect you to at least file a complaint with the police. And now you have this option of doing it online also. So if you need not, if you're not interested to walk to the police station, the nearest police station, you can do it online, cybercrime.gov.in, you can file your complaint. But they are effective. I mean, to a certain extent, yes. Not all cases are worked out, but some of them are definitely, and a lot of criminals that keep on arresting the cyber criminals. Yes.
Okay, Anurag sir has a question.
Anuj, thank you very much. I just say a small query: how safe it is to give our fingerprints and other information to companies like Paytm and similar kind of companies?
See, if you look at the Supreme Court judgment on the Aadhaar case, Honorable Supreme Court has said that it is not at all mandatory, and government cannot make Aadhaar or fingerprint compulsory. Okay. And companies like Paytm, etc., it is always a little bit of a risk there. So unless you are sure about that company's security policies, procedures, and capability, you can definitely refuse because it is something really sensitive for you. Your fingerprints you can't change, your passwords you can change. Your account numbers, your phone numbers, you can change. But your fingerprints, if they are compromised, you cannot change. So obviously, it is something very, very sensitive for you. And you need to use discretion before giving, and you need to see whether it is really indispensable. Otherwise, avoid it.
Okay. You can ask your question.
Sorry, so this is
Okay,
Raju
it
Swarup.
seems.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, right.
I can hear you now. So, Anuj, your lecture was very informative, and a lot of things you mentioned about how to be safe when you're doing any digital transaction. My question is, in spite of all those precautions, if you do get compromised in net banking or any e-commerce transaction, are there ways of limiting or reducing your exposure? For example, on the credit card, you said stop international transactions, or bank stop international transactions, which is good. At least it saves some exposure. But is there something similar which could be done for e-commerce transaction and net banking transactions, which will reduce your exposure?
I think in the net banking, you can do few, ingenious methods. For example, suppose your total corpus is 1 crore. Maybe you can divide this whole thing into 2-3 bank accounts. And if your typical ticket size online transaction is say 10,000, 20,000, so one account you do not make web enable. One account you keep web facility, and there you keep less amount. Okay. So God forbid if some compromise happens, the amount would be less in that particular account, which is web enabled. And the account which is not web enabled is having the balance of your corpus. As and when your account is used, you can always transfer through check or something into that web account once in a while. That's one way. दूसरा तरीका जो मैं करता हूँ, I can share that I do not have money. I have already given all my money to forever whomsoever needed. तो दूसरा तरीका तो ये है कि पैसा ही कम होना चाहिए, तो क्रिमिनल्स को मौका नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है सर. तो उसका तरीका ये है, आप जिस अकाउंट को डेबिट कार्ड के थ्रू यूज करते हैं, जिस अकाउंट को इंटरनेट बैंकिंग के लिए यूज करते हैं, उसमें कॉर्पस कम रखिए, ताकि अगर कॉम्प्रोमाइज होता है तो आपको उतना नुकसान नहीं होगा. दैट्स वे. अदरवाइज तो जो मैंने आपको प्रिकॉशंस बताए, द प्रिकॉशंस आई हैव टोल्ड यू, दैट्स ऑब्वियसली आई एम वेरी श्योर आर गोइंग टू हेल्पफुल. And spoof email in the corporate scenario, I must tell you, today what is happening is the spoof email that your the people from whom you are supposed to get money, suddenly you get UK from so and so bank. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Anuj. I think we are just taking the last question. Rachna Yadav, Rachna ji, can you unmute and ask your question, please?
Thank you, Damnesh. On the onset, let me thank Mr. Anuj Agarwal for giving us perfectly precise knowledge on the subject. And I want to confess that I just might be the biggest menace in the cyber crime breaches. I am a distributor with an OMC, and according to the OMC and ministry norms, I am supposed to do 100% online transactions while distributing my product. I have about 20,000 customers, and I distribute my product to almost 500 customers every day. And I have delivery boys who are overworked and undereducated. And you have made me very, very worried person, because then I am the perfect case for all these, because my guys would not understand what password, what number are they asking? I have already.
For your business, Rachna ma'am, separately done. That will reduce your worries. We do not want to make you worried. We want to make you worry free through this seminar and through the initiative.
Certainly. But I see myself getting into the trap way too earlier than anybody else, gentlemen.
I think the protection is the key. So, Rachna ji, I think you should speak to Anuj and say what check and balances could be put in place.
Certainly.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachna ma'am. Anurag sir, over to you. I think we had a very good session. And
thank you, everybody. It was a great session. Thank you, Anuj. We are much more knowledgeable and lot of information which you have given. We never thought that it should be there. So now I think we'll be more safer, much better, and we'll be able to save our money as well as our personal data, classified data. Thank you, Anuj. It was a great webinar with you, and thank you all the participants to participate into this. I find that still 180 people are still listening. So thank you, everybody. We had a great time. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And this recording would be available on YouTube, so you can anyway see it later too. And in case of any questions on Hackathon, kindly visit the website hackathon.itk.ac.in and you can ask questions there. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.